Hi, I don't think there'll be a fishing video this week as the weather conditions are far from favourable and the rivers are well and truly up at the moment. In fact, I went to St Ives yesterday and had a walk across Hemingford Grey Meadow along the River Gt Ouse, which was up to the top of the bank. It hadn't actually entered the meadow, but it was well up. I hadn't explored that stretch. I had fished a couple of summers ago at the beginning of the stretch without much luck, but I hadn't explored the whole meadow, so yesterday was a bit of a see what it looks like venture. Anyway, Storm Franklin was still making its presence well and truly felt, and as a consequence there was a lot of wind noise. The mic on my camcorder is quite bad at picking up wind noise, so I also used a lapel mic with a muffler, but unfortunately Storm Franklin was too much for either of them. So the sound quality on this video isn't brilliant, but I think you'll catch most of what I've said, and just gives you a look at the state of the river if you're thinking of going out this week. Anyway, without more ado, shall we have a quick look? It's only a shortish video. Hope you'll find it interesting. Right, let's go. Hi again. I'm not sure if any of this is going to be usable because I'm out in another gale. I'm not fishing today. My wife is meeting some friends in St Ives, so while she's there I decided to have a walk across Hemingford Grey Meadow. The water is obviously up well, you can see that. And we'll see what we can. I fished here once, but I only walked a few hundred yards up. I haven't walked the whole meadow. And the meadow in fact ends up almost opposite where I was fishing on my last video, the Houghton area. I'm not sure I'll get that far today, but I'm going to walk along and have a look as we go along, see what it looks like. Although with the river conditions today, probably not a good judge of how things are in normal times. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Well, this looks interesting, doesn't it? In normal times, of course, the tree's probably not going to be in the river, but more on the edge of the river. Yeah. But it's so interesting to say, I've never walked this far up the stretch before, and certainly some interesting looking spots. I obviously haven't reached the spot yet where the wind is supposed to go away, so as you can probably gather. Yeah, interesting stuff. Well, indeed, the wind has subsided a bit. I've just spotted there's a footpath over there. I don't know who has the fishing rights on that side, but there are certainly some interesting features on that side, more so than this side perhaps. I will need to investigate. Yeah, the wind has certainly eased off a bit just in this spot. I don't know if it's protected by the trees on the other bank or what, but certainly nowhere near as fierce. It looks very interesting over that other side. Certainly going down there a bit, going further on, sort of upstream there. Yeah. And there's trees hanging over the water. Yeah, looks good. Anyway, we'll walk a bit more, see what we find. Now, if you do have a fishing rod today and you're looking for somewhere to fish both reasonably out of the wind and also providing a bit of slack, this little bit here seems quite good. No doubt you'll be fishing on grass, probably, rather than being in the river, but it's certainly a nice little slack. Another interesting swim. Not sure what it would look like in normal conditions. Certainly the far bank here is very attractive. All those trees in the water. And there's, especially just over there, there seems to be a slack behind that tree that's laying completely in the water. Yeah. As I say, there's a footpath there, so I don't know if you can fish that side or whether you have to fish it from this side. Fishing platform, I think. Oh dear, dear, dear. Yeah. As I say, these platforms usually sit a fair way above the river, so quite fascinating, really. I definitely get the impression that this end of the stretch, which is a long walk from where I've parked the car, but there may be parking at this end somewhere. But it has some really interesting features. You can probably see over that far bank, it's just a massive tree sort of sinking into the river. Definitely worthy of investigation at some point. Well, this fence would tend to imply that this is the end of public access or public right of way, but it certainly looks like the bank on the other side's been walked on. But there's no obvious way of crossing it in terms of a stile or a gate. You know, obviously you could wiggle yourself around the edge of the gate there. But anyway, I've probably walked far enough today, so I'm not going to do that. But perhaps I need to investigate the club map again and just see where the restriction is. As you can see, there are sort of more features further downstream. We'll focus on that tree down there. And it looks quite interesting down. Sorry, I say downstream, it's upstream, of course. Yeah. So, I think that's about as far as I'm going to walk today. I probably walked as far as I should anyway, to be honest. I'm a long way from town now. If I just swing the camera around slowly without making you dizzy. Yeah, not the first church, but the second church. That's St Ives. So, yeah. So a long way from town. So I got a bit of a walk back. So I may start on my way back and Anyway, it might have been interesting. Obviously looking at the river in this state doesn't give you a complete picture of what it'd be like in normal conditions, but it gives you a feel for it. Yeah, so a bit different from Bob Goes Fishing. Bob goes looking for somewhere to fish, I suppose it ought to be. But yeah, as I was here today and I had an hour to spare, I thought, I can't do this zoom on the camera because it's flying around all over the place. I thought I'd come here and just check out this stretch. It's all on the St Ives ticket. I usually fish the Chop Street, but I did have one dabble here in the summer, right down near the St Ives end, and I didn't do any good. It needs a bit more work really. So, yeah, so River Gt Ouse carrying a lot of water, So until next time, I'm not sure, I think I mentioned before, I'm not going to go fishing this week. It's just ridiculous with the forecast, the winds, and the river levels up, so probably leave it another week, see how it goes. We're getting preciously near the end of the season. Anyway, that's it for today. Bye for now. And as usual, thanks for watching. And if you do venture out there, best of luck. Really, best of luck.